Hey everyone, welcome back to Feel English Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Thanks for joining us again. Today, we're diving into something we all do sometimes too much: overthinking.
Yeah, that voice in your head that just won't stop talking, right? Why did I say that? What if they think I'm weird? What if I fail?
Exactly. Overthinking is when your brain keeps repeating the same thought again and again, like a song stuck on replay.
That's a good way to describe it. It's totally normal. Everyone does it. But when it happens too often, it can make us feel stressed or even tired.
Yeah, I remember last year, before a job interview, I spent the whole night thinking about what could go wrong. My outfit, my answers, even my handshake.
Oh, I've done that too. You want everything to be perfect, but in the end, you just exhaust yourself.
Right. And sometimes we think worrying helps us prepare, but it usually doesn't. It just makes us more anxious.
That's true. There's a phrase we can use here: to get stuck in your head. It means you keep thinking about something so much that you can't relax or focus on the present.
Yeah, like when you replay a conversation in your mind and wonder if you said the wrong thing.
Or when you check your phone again and again, waiting for someone's reply.
Guilty. We overthink because we care about people, about the future, about doing things right.
But sometimes caring too much turns into pressure. So today we'll talk about how to care just enough to think clearly without overthinking everything.
I like that. Clear mind, calm heart.
Beautifully said. So, if you enjoy practicing English with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with a friend.
And we'd love to hear your stories. When do you catch yourself overthinking?
All right, let's get started.
Let's do it. So, Anna, have you ever noticed how one tiny thought can suddenly grow into a huge story in your mind?
Oh yes, all the time. Like when a friend doesn't reply to my message right away. My brain goes, did I say something wrong? Are they upset? Did I do something? When actually they're probably just busy.
Exactly. That's the perfect example. We turn a small thing into a big problem in our head. That's what I call the snowball effect. You know, when something small rolls and rolls until it becomes huge.
That's a great phrase. Snowball effect. It's when a small event grows into something much bigger than it really is.
I remember one time I sent a work email and didn't get a reply for 2 days. I thought, they must hate my idea. Maybe I'll lose the project. But when they finally replied, they said, sorry, I was on vacation.
I've been there. It's so human. Our minds try to fill in the blanks when we don't have information.
Yeah, and most of the time we fill them with worries, not with facts.
Right. That's why it's helpful to pause and ask, is this real or just a thought? It's a simple question that can calm your mind.
I love that. It reminds me of something a friend told me. Don't believe everything you think.
That's such a powerful idea because our thoughts aren't always true. They're just thoughts, like clouds passing by.
You know, one trick I use when I start overthinking is to say out loud, okay, brain, thank you, but I got this. It's like talking to a friend who worries too much.
That's so good. It's gentle but firm. You don't fight your mind, you guide it.
Exactly. Overthinking often comes from fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough.
And when we realize that, we can respond with kindness instead of judgment.
Yeah, like saying, hey, I know you're scared, but it's okay.
That's where real calm starts, not by controlling your thoughts, but by understanding them.
So true. And I guess that takes us to the next part, the idea of control.
So, Jake, you mentioned control. That's a big one. I think most overthinking starts when we try to control things we actually can't.
Totally. I used to believe that if I just thought long enough about something, I could find the perfect answer and avoid mistakes. But life doesn't really work like that.
Yeah, I get that. I used to plan everything. My studies, my job, even how conversations might go. And when things didn't match my plan, I'd feel so frustrated.
Same here. There's this phrase, go with the flow. It means to relax and accept what happens instead of trying to control every little thing.
Oh, that's a good one for English learners. Go with the flow. It sounds simple, but it's actually really wise.
Definitely. Once I missed the train because I left home too late, I was angry at myself the whole day. But later, I found out there was an accident on that route and the train got delayed for hours.
Wow. So missing the train actually saved you time.
Exactly. That moment taught me that sometimes things not going my way can actually be a good thing.
That's such a calm way to see it. When we overthink, we often believe, if I can just plan enough, I'll stay safe. But the truth is, control is kind of an illusion.
Right. We can't control what people think, what they do, or what tomorrow brings. We can only control how we respond.
That's so true. And when we stop trying to control everything, we actually feel lighter.
Yeah, it's like putting down a heavy backpack you didn't realize you were carrying.
Beautiful image. You know, there's another expression, let it be. It means accept things as they are for now and trust they'll change when they're ready.
Like that Beatles song?
Exactly. Let it be. Simple English, but it carries a big feeling of peace.
I think when we let go of control, we make space for new things to happen, like creativity, joy, and calm.
Yes, and that naturally leads to the next step, how to come back to the present moment, where things actually happen.
Right. The only place life is really happening. Right here, right now.
So, Jake, let's talk about being present, the opposite of overthinking. What helps you stay in the moment?
Honestly, breathing. Just simple, slow breathing. When I focus on my breath, my thoughts quiet down. It's like pressing the pause button in my mind.
I love that. I do something similar. When I notice I'm overthinking, I gently say to myself, come back. Then I look around and notice small details, like the color of the sky, the sound of birds, or the feeling of my coffee cup.
That's beautiful. You're basically grounding yourself, staying connected to what's real instead of what's imagined.
Exactly. And for English learners, you can make it a practice. Describe your surroundings in English. For example, the air feels warm. I hear traffic outside. The sky is cloudy today.
That's such a cool idea. You're learning English and calming your mind at the same time.
Yeah, it's simple mindfulness. And mindfulness just means paying attention on purpose without judging.
I like that, without judging. Because often when I'm overthinking, I start judging myself. Why am I like this? Why can't I relax?
Oh, I know that voice too well. But I try to treat it like a child who's scared. You don't yell at the child, you comfort it.
That's a lovely way to think of it. Sometimes I'll take a walk and notice how my feet touch the ground. Left, right, left, right. It's such a simple rhythm, but it brings me back to the present.
You're describing what I call a mini moment of peace. Just a few seconds when you feel calm and alive.
I like that phrase, a mini moment of peace. Easy, small, but powerful.
You don't need a special place or time for it. You can do it while waiting for a bus or washing dishes.
Totally. I sometimes think peace isn't something we find, it's something we notice.
That's so true. When we stop chasing thoughts about the past or the future, we discover that the present is already enough.
And from there, we can start to understand ourselves better Instead of fighting our thoughts, we can learn from them.
Yes, that's where the healing begins.
You know, Anna, what you just said really connects to something I've been learning lately, using overthinking as a teacher instead of an enemy.
I love that idea. Tell me more. How do you mean?
Well, I used to see overthinking as a problem to fix, but now I think of it as a signal, my mind's way of saying, hey, something needs attention. It's like an emotional alarm.
That's such a healthy way to see it. When we overthink, it's often because we care deeply or we're afraid of being hurt, right?
Exactly. For example, I used to overthink every time I had to speak English with native speakers. I was so afraid of making mistakes. But after a while, I realized my overthinking was just fear of not being perfect.
Oh, I totally get that. I used to feel the same when speaking another language. But now I tell myself, it's okay to be human. That simple phrase helps me relax.
That's a beautiful phrase. It's okay to be human. Simple, but powerful.
You know, there's another one. Progress, not perfection. It means it's better to keep moving forward little by little than to wait until you're perfect.
I love that. When we treat ourselves kindly, we actually think more clearly. It's like the mind works better when it feels safe.
Yes, that's the magic of self-compassion, being a friend to yourself instead of a critic.
You know, I once read something like, talk to yourself as you would talk to someone you love. That really changed the way I speak to myself.
That's beautiful. If a friend was stressed or overthinking, you wouldn't say, you're so stupid. You'd say, hey, take a breath, it's okay.
Exactly. So why not say that to ourselves too?
I think when we practice that, we slowly transform overthinking into understanding. We begin to learn why we feel what we feel.
Yeah. And when you understand yourself, you stop fighting your thoughts. You start listening to them with kindness.
That's the key, to grow softer, not harder with ourselves.
And maybe that's when we start to live lighter, more open, and less afraid.
So, Jake, after everything we've talked about, fear, control, being present, what does living lighter mean to you?
For me, it means not carrying every thought like it's a heavy rock. You just let some thoughts pass. You don't need to fix everything right away.
I love that. Living lighter means trusting that life has its own timing, right? That things will work out. Maybe not perfectly, but enough.
Yeah. I used to think peace meant having no problems. But now, I think peace is just learning to breathe through the problems.
That's so true. Sometimes when I'm overthinking, I remind myself, this feeling is temporary because everything passes, every worry, every fear, even every storm.
That's a great phrase. This too shall pass. It's simple English, but full of wisdom. It means that whatever you're feeling now won't last forever.
Exactly. It helps you relax and trust that life moves on. And when we stop fighting every little thing, we make space for small joys, like a laugh with a friend or a quiet morning coffee.
Yes, those little moments are everything. When you notice them, you realize your mind doesn't need to run all the time.
You know, I once met an old man at a cafe who told me, the older I get, the less I think and the more I see. That really stayed with me.
Wow, that's beautiful. Maybe wisdom is just learning to stop overthinking and start noticing.
Yeah. Noticing the colors, the people, the kindness, even your own growth.
So true. And for anyone listening, if you catch yourself overthinking tonight, maybe just smile and say, oh, there's my mind again, doing its thing.
Yes, be gentle with it. You're doing your best.
We all are. And that's enough.
That's a lovely note to end on. You know, Jake, today's talk reminded me that our thoughts don't define us. They're just small waves on a big ocean.
Yeah. And when we stop fighting the waves, we start to float.
We all overthink sometimes, but that's okay. It means we care. What matters is learning to care without losing our calm, to listen to our hearts without letting fear take over.
And to remember that life doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful.
Exactly. So, if you're listening to this right now and your mind feels busy, just take a breath. You're safe, you're growing, and you're not alone.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
And remember, real English is about connection, not perfection. See you next time on Feel English Podcast.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.